Hey guys, Ed here, and I'm going to try and do something a little bit different for my normal video tonight. I'm going to do a video titled Top 3 Tuesday. I was going to call it Top 10 Tuesday, but that sounded like a lot more work, and if you watch my other videos, you know I tend to stretch things out a little bit, so there's no way I would be able to get it done in 10 minutes or less. So, hence Top 3 Tuesday. Tonight, I'm going to do my top 3 favorite systems to collect for, which was a lot more difficult to narrow down than I thought at first because I have a lot of game systems, and I enjoy collecting for most of them, except the RCA Studio 2, which for those of you who played it, you'll understand. I did not pick the NES, even though that is my largest collection of games at around 300, I think. And I did not pick the Atari 2600, even though that is my second largest collection of games, and the first system I owned as a kid with my older brother. So I never actually got to play it that much. But what I did pick as number 3 is the ColecoVision. I did not own this as a kid, so that is not the reason that I enjoy collecting for this. But I did play it as a kid, and this was the first game I played on the ColecoVision, Donkey Kong. Now, I'd played it for the Atari 2600, and it's a fun, playable game on the Atari 2600. But my God, when I played the ColecoVision version, it completely blew it away. And same thing with Centipede. I mean, Centipede looked and sounded to me as a kid exactly like the arcade version. So that is the first reason that ColecoVision is one of my favorite systems to collect for, just because they have, for a system that only has, I think, around 83 or 84 games, something like that. I don't know, somebody will correct me, I'm sure. But for a system that doesn't have a lot of games, they have a very high ratio of good games on the systems. And their arcade ports for the ColecoVision were just fantastic. And then they had a lot of arcade-style games, too. So ColecoVision, fun to collect for that reason. Also fun to collect for because I don't see these out in the wild very often. I have around 20 games, I think, for the ColecoVision, and 15 of them came in one lot. So I really don't find these often. And when I do, I mean, it's just a rush to find a cart for the ColecoVision that I haven't already got in my collection. Wow, haven't already got. That I don't already have. That's better grammar. In my collection. So there you go. 2 reasons that I really... it's like 4 reasons. Anyway, those are my reasons. Take it or leave it. Number 2, and this is going to surprise some people, surprise me when I really laid it out and started thinking about it, is the TurboGrafx-16. Part of the reason is because how many systems can you take and fan out 30 games in 2 hands? Not many. Well, I mean, you could do it with the Sega Master System because it has card games, but I don't think they have 30 card games, at least not in the United States. Now this one, there's a couple of different reasons. I didn't have this one as a kid either, but I do remember, as a kid, envying the children that had it, because it was touted as the first 16-bit system. And I remember thinking, God, twice as good as my Sega Master System? I couldn't even imagine what that would be like. More than twice as good as the ColecoVision, too. So I wanted this so bad. And I did eventually get to play it. A kid that I knew at school had one, went over to visit him at his house, and there were some pretty good games on the system. And even today, there's some, really good games on this system that you can't find on others. I mean, come on. Sinistron, that is just an awesome name. Well, we won't get into all of them, but there are some really good, unique games in the system. Like the ColecoVision, this is a system that I do not see games in the wild for very often. So I get that same sort of giddy high when I find a TurboGrafx-16 game at a good price. So it makes it a really fun system to collect for. One final reason that it is one of my favorite systems to collect for is I'm not just collecting for one system. I am collecting for 2 systems. God, it's filthy. Sorry, I was just playing this earlier. I was playing some Blazing Lasers. Anyway, you're collecting for 2 systems. Not just the TurboGrafx-16, but the Turbo Express. Or at least I am collecting for 2 systems. Now, the Turbo Express is what I do most of my TurboGrafx-16 game playing on, to be totally honest with you, because, well, I mean, since it's portable, I can play it at work, I can play it when I'm rendering video here, I can play it in the John. So anyway, Yeah, I can collect for 2 systems when I'm collecting for the TurboGrafx-16, so that makes it doubly exciting, doesn't it? Now, moving on. Number 1 system was just too much. I couldn't do it. So, I picked 2. 2 related systems. There's a tie for number 1. The Sega Master System was the first system that was all mine when I was a kid. It was the very first system that I had that nobody else could claim as their own. I got to take it and play it whenever I wanted, and nobody could stop, well, except my mom, she could stop me. Nobody could stop me because it was all mine. And, I don't know, I just like the clamshell cases. I mean, yeah, sure, the Master System artwork is not, oh man, all that good. But, you know, you got the clamshell case. Inside you've got the game, you've got the manual, you've got the cool little poster to hang up. You get all this stuff inside here, and you can seal it back up. It'll go on the shelf. It looks like books on a bookshelf. I just like the way they look on a shelf compared to, you know, the unboxed carts of the NES or the Super Nintendo. And, I mean, cardboard just doesn't last. So, Sega Master System, for that reason. And also, because, like the Turbo Express, when I put the Gear Master on the back of my Game Gear, I can play my Sega Master System games on the go. Now, it is a bit more bulky than some of the others, but still, I'm collecting for 2 systems with the Sega Master System, and I can take it and play it on the go. So, another very good reason to like the Sega Master System. Next is the Sega Genesis, and I know you knew where I was going with this, but same reasons. I owned it as a kid. This is my second system, the second system that I owned all by myself. Same clamshell cases, same manuals and posters inside. I can take and play it on my Nomad. So these 2 game systems I like for all of the same reasons. So I couldn't just pick one of them. I mean, they're forever going to be tied together in my mind as essentially the same system. So there you go. Those are my top 3 favorite systems to collect for. If you have 3 systems that you really enjoy collecting for, and you would like to tell me about them in the comments down below, or if you wanted to leave a video response, you could do that. Or if you just want to tell me that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and your 3 systems make more sense, that's fine too. Say whatever you want. I kind of lost control of this video at the end there. Anyway, tell me what you think. Thanks for watching.